You are now listening to Sir Ink's The Experience Podcast, where we talk about anything and everything kink. Now, this podcast is only catered to those that are 18 and above and may not be suitable for work, or as we like to say, NSF. But remember, you can always listen to us during your private time. Hello, kinky and kinkiers folk out there. My name is Sir Ink. What's good, everybody? Let's jump right into our topic, which is, do I need a contract? Why do I need a contract? Is a contract necessary? And, the lifestyle is very vast, and there are people that, dip their toe in the water. And then there's people that's straight serious, like very detail oriented, serious. All the way down to a sub having a slave number, being registered on a slave registry or a submissive registry. There's all kind of things. But one of the main things you'll hear about is a contract between a dominant and a submissive. And I think that contracts are good if you really want to be detail oriented. And the good thing about a contract is, I've mentioned this before, it's like a business contract. It can be a breathable contract, which means it can change. And so you can put down, when you're getting started in your relationship, especially if you're not as familiar with this person like you've known them for years. And so let's just say you met somebody and in 2 months or 3 months, you're going to get into a relationship and you're going to have a BDSM relationship, dominant and submissive, master slave, whatever dynamic it is. And to keep the trust strong, you both create a contract between the two of you. You talk about the things that you want to do, how you want to do it, the things you don't want to do, the protocols, the routines, this and that, and you put all that in the contract, right? And you put it in the contract because you want everyone's feet held to the fire. And there is no reason, right, that you be able to forget what your responsibilities are, whether you're the dominant or whether you're the submissive, because it's all in the contract. Now, there's things in the contract, let's say some protocols that might change because of schedule changes. Maybe those protocols don't really work. They're not as effective as they normally would be or that you thought they would be. And so this is the breathable part, that you can take things out, add things in. But you just can't add things in as a dominant because you see fit. Yes, the dominant is in control, wants the submissive hands her control over. However, the contract is negotiable. That's why it's a contract. And so a dominant, before you go adding things in or taking things out, that's a discussion. And that's respecting not only your sub, but that's respecting the contract, the relationship, and yourself as a dominant. And so, yes, I love contracts. They're great. You're sitting down there listing out the responsibilities, how things will go, the protocols, so no one can get anything messed up. So if a sub is not perform at optimal level, you're like, listen, this is in the contract. You agreed to this. Do we need to review this? Is this something that you just can't do? Is it something that you don't want to do? Where are you falling short? Is it a time restraint thing? You're too busy handling family or business, or what's going on? Or is it just you're lazy, which laziness is unacceptable. And so this is some of the reasons that contracts are effective and useful. Now, when you've known somebody for years, you kind of already establish a routine between y'all two. And then, like if you're already in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, and wife, and then you do BDSM, you incorporate that into your dynamic, maybe some of those protocols and maybe some of the things that will go in a contract will already be things that y'all do. So maybe you don't need a contract between you and your wife. You already have a legal contract, right? But I really think it's really good and effective for newcomers or new dynamics, new BDSM relationships, because then everybody's role is stated in black and white, and you can review it. You can always say, "Look, this is our contract. Let's review it after a year, or let's review it after 6 months. Let's see what should we add on, what should we take off, what things are effective, what things aren't very effective." And so in that way, it's good because when you don't write things down, you just kind of like, oh, you know what we haven't done in a while? We haven't done journals in a while. Why haven't why haven't we done journals? Why have you forgotten to do journals? Why have you forgotten to not stay on top of me about journals? These are the kind of conversations that happen. But when you have a contract and both of you are conscious of it, you're holding your feet to the fire. It's like, listen, you ain't did your journal in a day. Like, you didn't do your journal last night. That's what you're supposed to do every night. And you look back at it. He's like, look, go look in there, or you're supposed to do all the time. Let's just say, for instance, you're supposed to shave your pubic hairs every 2 weeks, and you haven't done it in a month. Like, what's going on? Like, that's in our contract. The contract says you're supposed to do this, or the contract says you're supposed to get flowers on centerpiece flowers every 2 weeks to symbolize the growth of our relationship. Whatever the case may be, it could be in that contract, and the contract holds everyone's feet to the fire because that's what contracts do. And it's something that we both agree to. So it's not like you're being petty by even bringing something up. It's what you agreed to that. You agreed to that. That's your word on those papers signed by you that you will uphold that in. So you can't be mad at the other person, whether it's a dominant or submissive, if they're holding you accountable for what you agreed to. And you remember, when you create the contract, you're honoring the relationship. You're honoring your end of the bargain. Forget about what the other person may or may not do. You have to bring your end of the bargain, period. That's your responsibility. Okay? My sub will send me a video every day of her kneeling. And when we're together, she kneels. Right? And one day she said, well, do you really watch these every day? And she says, you know what? You don't even have to answer that. She said, whether you watch them or not, it is my responsibility to do them. It's not about you. It's about me and my discipline. And I watch them every day. I may not watch them when she exactly sends them because I may be busy working. But I watch them every day, and I make it a point to like on it, or we'll talk about it or whatever like that. But I make it a point to watch them every day. And we don't really have a written contract, but those are protocols that we actually agreed upon. And we actually do. We don't really have a written contract, but we do have a list on our phone through notes that I can update whenever I want to, or, and when I say whenever I want to, we'll talk about it. And it's like, look, let's take this off. Like journaling, we were doing that for a while, but then her job changed. So it's difficult for her to journal the way I would like. And so that's something we took off, but then we added something else on. And that's okay. But if journaling is something that I'm hardcore pressed about, then yes, she would make it a point to do it. But because we communicate, often, it's not that important because I kind of know how her day is going. If something important comes up, she'll mention it. And so it's not that deep. But that's my thoughts on contracts. What do you guys think? What is your experience with them? Please let me know. Please let me know. I'm always interested. And remember to please like and subscribe. Please share if this resonates with you. And if I'm off somewhere, if you're part of the old guard or the new guard or Whatever the case may be, just let me know what you're feeling about this. And until next time, peace. You know how to find me, Sir INQ, on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And you can always email me at sirinq09@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Until next time, peace.